Former Recording Academy President CEO Neil Pardo, in an interview with Variety during the 2018 Grammy Awards, stated it has to be in women who have creativity in their hearts and souls, want to be musicians, engineers, and producers, and want to be part of the industry on an executive level. Women just need to step up. This came after the controversy that Alessia Cara was the only woman who took home an award during the main telecast. Since 2018, women have been leading in album sales, as shown in both Taylor Swift's and Billie Eilish's albums sitting atop of Billboard's 200 year-end list in 2018 and 2019, respectively. In addition, women have dominated albumtheyear.org, a website that generates aggregation charts as an indicator where a certain artist was placed on a critic's year-end list. This comment is just one of the condescending shortcomings that have been on the minds of viewers and music circles of the Grammys over the past 10 years. Now, you might wonder, why are you so concerned with the Grammys in the year of our Lord 2020? Isn't art subjective? While an infectious pandemic and divided election have persisted in our country, music for many, including some of you, might be the only thing that's holding you during this tumultuous time. Additionally, many of these viewers could be future musicians who look up to the Grammys as a mode of acknowledging their place in music history. As someone who's watched the Grammys for years now, the feeling of seeing your favorite rappers, producers, singers, and songwriters feels bittersweet. On one hand, you have a celebration in music that acknowledges the importance of the interaction between the general public and the artist during that eligibility year. Yet on another hand, the Grammy can feel like a merit-based system or popularity contest that does not value representation or underground artists by rigging the nomination process out of their favor. With fervent amount of support, the Grammys should alter their voting process and music ceremony to adhere with the opinions of the public and music circles, or they will remain more and more irrelevant. Today, I'll discuss inherent problems with the Grammys, the causes of these problems, and what the Recording Academy can implement to foster a better interaction between the viewer and the Academy. To start off, opponents primarily criticize on how the nomination process discriminates against people of color and alternative artists, as well as the jumbled framing of the Grammy ceremony. Initially, the Grammys have been a challenging time regulating the nominations or submissions in categories that have downplayed and segregated racial minorities. While many of these albums nominated incorporate a hybrid of pop, trap, and R&B, Black artists are more likely to be submitted to Best Urban Contemporary Album or Best R&B Album, and white artists are more likely to be submitted to Best Pop Vocal Album. This year, the urban title garnered so much controversy that they had to change the category from Best Urban Contemporary Album to Best Progressive R&B, which made the situation even worse by acknowledging there's an issue, but doing the bare minimum to eliminate the category as a whole. Subsequently, the Grammys have devalued indie and alternative artists of every genre due to their chart performance on both the Billboard 200 albums and 100 songs chart. For the sole justification, the Recording Academy formulated the category known as Best Alternative Album. Typically, you think of alternative rock albums, but in actuality, Best Alternative Album comprises of albums that are generally not popular with commercial circles. This overgeneralizes and segregates these albums as inferior to the primary pop and rock albums. Including in the past 10 years, it has been naturally impossible for indie artists to win Record or Song of the Year, the main song categories, without a top 10 hit. Ultimately, the Grammy ceremony is also subject to debate. Many viewers have criticized that it has functioned as a live concert rather than an actual award ceremony, going in 2020 1 full hour with live performances and no awards handed out to those who attended. As well, in the past, the Grammys have awarded all the categories during the main telecast, but currently the Recording Academy regulates the less commercial awards to the pre-telecast and gives the commercialized awards during the televised event. And while the Grammys have proven to not be in the interest of musicians, the Recording Academy are even worse to those they employ. What caused the Grammys' popularity contest an exemption of diverse voices? Former first woman CEO of the National Recording Academy, Deborah Dugan, filed a lawsuit in 2018 highlighting the boys' club mentality that has persisted within music executives of the National Recording Academy, as well as allegations of sexual assault and quid pro quo favors. Her affidavit, Deborah Dugan versus the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, primarily addresses the blatant sexual assault within the higher-ups of the National Recording Academy. The primary allegation was towards Neil Pardo, a former CEO of the Recording Academy who allegedly raped an unknown female artist. Page 2 emphasizes the Grammys had accurate knowledge of this incident, which was the primary reason why his contract was not renewed. Intimately, the testimony described Deborah's own experience being sexually assaulted by Joel Katz, another recording executive at the Academy, asserting on page 18 he attempted to kiss her at an expensive dinner he had taken her to and referred to her as baby. The Grammys voting process is also murky. On page 11 and 12, Deborah Dugan describes the secret committees that review a short list of 15 to 20 submissions in the majority of categories before whittling them down to around 5 to 8, artists that are in the best interest of the company, such as wanting this certain artist to perform or attend. The complaint on page 10 also condemns the ineptitude of representation in these categories, saying that between 2012 and the present, the board has been approximately 68% male and 69% Caucasian. During Deborah's small tenure, she has attempted to foster diversity and inclusion within the academy and the voting process, but was further dismissed by record executives. Later, she was put on administrative leave due to misconstrued allegations of rudeness to an executive assistant of the company. The hypocrisy is plainly evident that men executives such as Partnow and Katz can sexually harass women, but a minor allegation of rudeness coming from Miss Dugan shows the ardent sexism within not just those who are nominated, but within award show employees. With all that being said, how can the Grammys redeem itself from the predicament they see themselves in? The solution is simple and self-evident. Listen to more music artists, informed employees, and more crucially, the occasional watchers of the Grammys. This year, the Grammys are making strides with more inclusion and acceptance, with having Black and women winners in the general field and pop categories more than in the past. However, it is not enough. The Grammys must assemble a task force that adheres to those who are misrepresented from varying races, genders, ethnicities, sexual orientation, nationalities, and relevancies within the musical landscape. Another suggestion is to publicly address the candid allegations from corporate executives like Joel Katz and former CEO Neil Partnow, so that they can foster a healthy workplace for women who feel uncomfortable working there. Furthermore, the Grammys should update the ceremonial process to limit those who are performing to the Big Four awards: Best New Artist, Record, Song, and Album of the Year. Furthermore, as an award show, they should really start sticking to awarding all categories in the main telecast for every artist to have their spotlight in front of millions of people. The point of the video is to verify that it is valid to criticize various types of entertainment and media, even though you place these institutions on a pedestal. My action step for you guys is to continue to share your favorite music with everyone. Theoretically, the Grammys tend to value popular music, and due to the popularization of streaming, radio deals can no longer dictate which songs and albums the general public like and consider popular. You guys have the power. And we, as consumers, must share music as a form of communication with other people to make a statement. I'm going to link a playlist in the description of this video below with some songs that deserve some traction. That being said, the Recording Academy should not allow these recommendations to go over the minds of music executives in order to retain relevancy within the music landscape. The Grammys have proven that they're not alarmed with the concerns of musicians in mind, whether it's backhanded compliments towards musical and alternative minorities, or their poorly structured music ceremony. To go even further, Deborah Dugan exposed the insider structures of covering up sexual harassment and shady voting dealings. With all this in mind, the Grammys must reform their nomination and ceremonial process to better their desired results. That way, opposers like myself can establish and encourage integrity with the Grammys to preserve history and the importance of music, so that the next future little girl or boy who dreamed about holding a gramophone in front of millions of people congratulating those who made it will not be tarnished by music executives who are in power. Thank you.